Hello, welcome to the Loomis Election Show. Today we've got a really special guest, Hillary Clinton.
Hi,
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. All right, let's get into the issues. I was wondering if you had any key parts of your tax plan that you wanted to get out to the public.
So mainly I would like to raise both the personal tax and the business, for business tax too. Specifically for personal income, I'd create a 4% subcharge for the high income taxpayers. This subcharge will add an additional marginal tax of 43.6% for taxable income over $5 million and a 24% top marginal tax. And also, I'll introduce a 28% cap of itemized deductions. This added tax revenue will successfully fund new projects in the next decade. So basically, my tax policies are to incentivize the rich to not hold on to their assets too long, but to circulate in the market.
So would you say that your tax plan is to benefit the poor, or who would you say it's really affecting?
I think my tax plan will mostly affect the high citizens because as they have higher income, I think they also have more responsibilities to pay more tax.
I can understand that. All right, okay. So what do you feel are some the more nuanced details of your tax plan? Just things that people don't know about.
So basically, my goal is to close the many loopholes in this tax program so that the rich will not take advantage of the tax program, such as closing the Bermuda loopholes that many hedge fund managers are benefiting from. And for example, my opponent, Donald Trump, has been evading paying taxes for many years, but my tax plan will make him fulfill his responsibility as a citizen and pay the tax he's supposed to pay.
It was wonderful to talk to you. See you later. Have a great day, and good luck in the election.
Thank
All
you.
right? Hey, what's up? All right, let's get our next big, wonderful guest, Donald Trump.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How's the campaign trail treating you?
It's been pretty busy, but closing in on election day, so looking forward to the end of the campaign.
Yes, that's nice. That's nice. All right, so let's get into the heart of the issues. I was wondering if you had any important parts of your tax plan that you'd like to make public to voters.
So the main point about my tax plan is that I want to cut taxes across the board with an emphasis on high income and middle class families. So for middle class families, I want to decrease the tax rate to 25%. For high income families, I want to cut taxes to 33%. Hopefully this will encourage more spending in the market, and so as more money comes down, the economy will increase and receive a nice boost due to the lower taxes. For instance, if you have a family that earns less than $550,000 a year and has 2 children, I want to give that family some tax deductions. That way they can still have a child and not feel like the cost of having one is too high, and also that way taxes won't be too oppressive because that describes many families in this country.
So you feel like your tax cuts mainly affect families or something? Who do you really think this affects though?
I think that this affects the middle class the most because a lot of these working class people, the taxes really can have a high impact on their lives. And so in addition to just dropping them overall, as well as the family deduction, I feel like it'll be much easier for them to live. They'll have a lot much money to spend, and taxes won't have as big of a pressure on them. Also, for upper class families, I feel like this lowering of taxes will really free up a lot more of their money so they can choose to invest and spend and put more money back into the economy themselves.
That's good. That's good. So, just one final question. I was wondering if you had any big nuanced details to your tax plan that you just feel people don't know about.
Yeah, so another big point of my tax plan is to lower the tax on businesses. Hopefully this will encourage more businesses to move back to the United States, move their factories back here. I think this will put a lot more jobs in the economy and will boost it significantly.
I lied, sorry. One final question. Is your hair real?
Yes.
Well, this has been the Loomis Election Show. I hope you had a great time tuning in. I hope this also informed you about the election candidates and their fantastical tax plans. All right, have a great time.
I support Hillary Clinton's tax plan because I believe her tax plan will help lessen the wage gap in this country. I also think that Trump's tax cuts will rely too much on the rich spending their money in order to put more money into the economy. And as we learn, as you have more and more wealth, you're more likely to save your disposable income instead of spend it.
Personally, I support Hillary's tax plans because she proposed to increase tax for high-income families and possibly make tax cuts for middle-income families. I think her plans more feasible to the economy in the long run because the U.S. GDP is mostly comprised of personal consumption up to 70%, and that most Americans are considered low-income families, which means that consumers' willingness and ability to buy is an important factor to the economy. So Hillary's tax plan can potentially increase the purchasing power of the consumers and stimulate domestic consumption, which will be helping the economy. And also, the additional tax revenue from high-income population can help provide a better welfare program for the rest of the people, so kind of narrow the unequal wealth gap and like reach a balance.
I found that I resonated more so with Hillary Clinton's tax plan, her overall economic plan. I found Trump's to be ultimately like unsustainable and not good for growth. His plans to like close trade agreements and then like stop the U.S. from getting involved in those anymore, and his increases in like government spending without increases in taxes will be like largely unsustainable. So I found myself more on the side of Hillary Clinton.
I find Donald Trump's tax plan to be more attractive to me because Donald Trump's tax plan will give rich people more money and rich people will spend this money to help poor people so that the overflow of the economy will be better under Donald Trump's tax plan.